We treat people like they are consumer products we can return if they don't immediately satisfy our needs. Alrighty, welcome back to Perspective with Zane Foy. Welcome to the podcast. It has been so long since I've recorded a podcast. I almost forgot the title of my podcast. But anyways, we're going to jump straight into it. For those of you that are new, my name is Zane Foy. I'm a relationship coach. I recently just became a father. My son just turned a year old a couple weeks ago. So woohoo, awesome. I've been busy with that. Been busy being a dad. Been busy being a husband. But I wanted to come back. I've been saying I was going to come back, and so many things have gotten in the way. But you know what? Today is the day I make time, and we're going to talk about the biggest thing I get that gets brought up to me, which is trust. Especially nowadays, when we live in such a modernized world, trust seems to be thinner than it has ever been before. We have too many options, not enough commitment. It's easier to keep secrets. It's easier to lie. It's easier to hide. It's harder to reach transparency because of phones, dating apps, DMs, screenshots, read receipts, locations. There's so many different things that are now involved in modern relationships that this line between trust and boundaries has been blurred more than it has ever been blurred in the history of humanity, okay? There are too many variables nowadays. And so what I want to talk about is all these different things that impact trust, how we can get around them, whether we're single or in a relationship, so that we can actually feel safe going into the dating world. We have a direction, we have a roadmap, we have a game plan to A, protect ourselves, B, find someone that makes us feel safe, or C, establish that safety in an already existing relationship we might be in with somebody. So we're going to dive right in. This is a podcast, so I'm going to ramble. I'm going to just jump on tangents. That being said, listen to this on the drive to work while you're doing chores, studying. Throw this on in the background, or if you're, just laying down trying to relax, throw on some earphones, hit play, and just listen. We're going to have a conversation about trust. So, first and foremost, why is trust so bad nowadays? Well, I think we know the obvious answer, but I'm going to frame it in a way that I think is going to click with a lot of people, and this is probably going to connect a lot of dots. Nowadays, we can return if they don't immediately satisfy our needs. I'm going to say that again. We treat people like consumer products we can either return or replace if they don't immediately satisfy our needs. I want you to think about the moment you wake up to the moment you go to bed. Everything in your world is trying to sell you something, whether it's a product, whether it's watch time, whether it's attention, whether it's simply just time. Somebody is trying to get something from you. I want you to, watch this video, read this blog, read this post, spend time with me, do this thing, buy this product. Everything is trying to take something from you, right? And relationships are trying to take different types of things. Obviously, it could be intimacy, it could be affection, it could be attention, it could be sex, it could be money, it could be materialism, it could be a shoulder to cry on, it could simply be space, but always it's going to be time, right? We don't want to lose those things. We don't want to lose because they're valuable. Your attention is valuable. Your time is valuable. Your heart is valuable. So of course we're scared shitless going into the modern world, whether we're dating or in a relationship. There's so many different things that we have to just hang out and hope they don't get torn away in the wind because of the world we live in, the environment we're a part of nowadays. And so let's talk about this. First and foremost, we have this consumer mentality that is everywhere. And this is going to be ingrained in your subconscious, whether you know it or not. Even if you are this perfect person and you think, oh, I've done all this work, I'm this amazing, wonderful, awesome person, you are still going into this with some sort of consumer mindset. And that's what we have to flip. We actually have to figure out what exactly we're trying to consume from people and ask ourselves, are we giving first? You have to become a giver. And the biggest reason is it flips the way we approach love, whether we're single or in a relationship. If we approach love with what am I getting, there's always something missing, there's always something empty, and there's always a grass is greener or red flags, hanging up in the wind. And our red flags then become these things that wouldn't naturally become red flags. Oh, I'm not getting the best sex. I'm not getting the best affection. I'm not getting the best attention. Let me find someone who can do that. And there we go, returning or replacing the product we thought we purchased. Right? No. We have to switch it to a giving mindset. What can I provide for somebody? Can I provide stability? Can I provide safety? Can I provide love? Can I provide affection? Can I provide a peace of mind specific to what the person I'm looking for truly needs in their life? And I love this phrase or this saying by Tony Robbins when he says that whenever there's pain in a relationship, the first thing you should ask yourself is, what can I give? What can I give? And I promise you, after going through so many different challenges and hardships in my relationship, especially, when we were pregnant with Liam, there's always something you can give, even if you have to do this crazy roundabout way to get there. Oftentimes, when people are doing things that we think are breaking our trust or whatever it might be, as long as it's not like abundantly clear, like they cheated on you, they're spending time with other people, they're doing some really suspicious activities. But more often than not, we get into these instances in relationships where there really isn't a clear deviation of trust, but a lot of it is suspect. Things we assume or fabricate in our mind. We overthink, we get anxious. Oh, well, why are they on their phone at this time of hour? What are they looking at? What are they doing? Why are they not home yet? Where are they going? What, et cetera, et cetera. And we have to just have these conversations. We have to have these conversations with somebody and just get to the bottom of it. And I think that's the first thing you should look for if you are single, is finding someone that's willing to just get in the mud with you. We're going to go through some shit. This is not the Hallmark Channel. It will never be. No marriage was ever happily ever after from day one to day 1035. I don't know, whatever. I don't know how many years is a lifetime marriage, whatever. Day 15,024. It was never a Hallmark Channel. It was never this perfect happily ever after from day one. It is forgiveness. When you look at a couple that has been together for decades, you know how they got there? Forgiveness and communication. Communication and forgiveness. Back and forth, over and over and over and over again. Find somebody that's willing to go through that with you. Find someone that's like, you know what? I know you're not going to be the prettiest forever. To me, you will be. I know you're not going to be the richest person in the world. To me, you will be. I know you're not going to be perfect 24/7, but to me, you will be in all your imperfect ways. We're going to eat shit together and we're going to love it even when we don't. Like that's the reality of it. And I'm going to say something that I think is going to this is probably controversial, but if you are getting into a relationship and you are not willing to give up your the password to your phone and just be completely transparent like a glass house, you're not ready for a relationship. You want to have kids with someone, but you won't give them the password to your phone. Pardon my French. That's fucking insane. That is insanity. What's on there? Like, for God's sake, you'll have a child with somebody, but you won't give them the password to your phone? What are you hiding? That is crazy. Absolutely crazy. Now, I will say there is a difference between, hey, can I look at your phone or whatever, versus, you're snatching their phone away to do some secret detective work because you don't trust there's like some general courtesy. Don't get me wrong. I recently actually just had someone I know broke up with their boyfriend at the time because they woke up to him using their face to unlock her phone. And she was like, dude, you could have just asked. That's mad. That's crazy. That's crazy. Yeah, if you're not willing to be completely transparent with somebody, you're not ready for a relationship. And that's what a relationship is. It is not this highlight reel you see on social media. It's human. It's gross. If you really want to think about it, you're going to get married to someone someday. You're going to fart together, for God's sake. You're going to shit while they're doing their makeup or something. I don't know. They're going to have something weird going on that they need you to look at in some unmentionable areas. Like, there could be so many different things. Especially when you have kids and you're so busy, nobody has time to shave or to work on themselves or put their best foot forward. Like, you're going to be fucking gross together. And you got to be like, yeah, that's my gross partner. I fucking love them, right? And of course, I'm not saying stay that way. Like, yo, treat yourself. All right, take care of yourselves. But it's not going to be this happily. It's not. All right. You get my point, right? You get my point. Now, we go on about these issues where we get notifications, locations. What should we do about locations? Honestly, I could go either way. I think if you use your location as a safety mechanism, great. If you don't, if you use it as a form of like obedience, I think you got some trust issues that you need to work out. And that let me be perfectly honest here. This concept of insecurity is too overused. Insanely overused nowadays. Insanely. We think, oh, you want to go through my phone, you must be insecure. Well, hold on. Pause. Or, oh, why are you talking to this person? Don't be so insecure. Pause. Like, let's back up. Let's back up. When we throw the word insecure, are we deflecting? Like, let's be really, really, really honest. Let's be really honest with each other. When we throw out the word insecure, are we deflecting a difficult conversation? Like let's just stop. Let's stop fucking around. Let's be honest. If you're in love with someone, if you're in a serious relationship, you're looking to get into a relationship with somebody, and the word insecure enters the conversation, I think that's a moment to collaborate and to understand and to have some empathy. Let's try to understand. Like I'm going to be completely honest with you. If my wife ever came to me and said, hey, honey, this is making me, insecure. I'm worried about this, blah, 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 blah. My initial reaction is never going to be, oh, God, you're fucking insecure. No, I'd be concerned. I'd be like, oh, honey, I'm so sorry. Like, tell me what's going on here? And we can debate. And we can have a conversation on whether or not this insecurity is a valid insecurity or if it's potential overthinking or looking into things or jumping to conclusions. Like, we can understand that. We can get there through a conversation of mutual respect, love, empathy, and admiration for each other. But to throw it out like a label or a deflection or an argument of hold up, hit the brakes, red light, stop right there, you're insecure, ew, gross. Like, what are you talking about? Like, what? Let's have a conversation, and then we can figure out where we need to go. And for my single folks out there that are newly dating, you got some guys that are doing some crazy shit because of their insecurity. Okay, still, I think the insecurity is an open conversation, but address the crazy shit that's going on. All right, we don't address the insecurity as like, because you're insecure, you're doing this crazy shit. No, you're doing this crazy shit, like, I'm trying to get an example here. Guys that are like, have everything locked down and don't trust anything their woman's doing and is being overly controlled. Like when we get into the world of controlling, and I guess this isn't just guys, this goes both ways. When we get into the world of controlling, okay, the controlling, like we got to separate. One, the insecurity is a conversation we need to have because neither partner should feel that way. Two, how we respond to the insecurity needs to be handled appropriately. Okay? Those are two separate things. And I think more often than not, I don't know if it's because we get caught, dude, my intrusive thoughts are like, because people are fucking stupid. Like, two things can be true. Yes, this thing you're doing is making me insecure. And yes, the way I'm responding to it is not healthy. We don't dismiss the insecurity because of the response. Does that make sense? Are you picking up what I'm putting down? Like, let's understand, but let's also address the actions. Okay? And so if we talk about trust, again, do we have somebody that understands these concepts? Like that really, that's what we're going to get down to by the end of this podcast is, are we with someone? Are we either dating someone, talking to someone, or seeking someone that understands these concepts? And if you're like, well, how do I find someone that gets this? Go on dates and have conversations. Okay? Go on dates and have conversations. I think too many people are waiting for Prince Charming to come walking around the corner and just happily show up, picture perfect with all the boxes checked. It's not going to work that way. You do not need to find someone who's perfect or even qualifies every single thing you're looking for. You just need to find someone who understands that there's two things. Love requires two things, and that is the willingness to learn and the willingness to take action. So when we get into a relationship or when we're in this moment of either seeking, cultivating, or crafting our relationship, those are our two things. Do they have the willingness to learn and do they have the willingness to take action? If you can confidently check those boxes with full certainty that they are not going anywhere anytime soon for any reason, that they are ingrained into that human being, that is all you need. And then from that point on, patience. Well, shit, I got someone who's willing to learn and they are taking action. They might not be moving quickly. It might be taking a long time for them to make the change you want to see or for them to grow in the places you want them to grow. But for God's sake, they are growing. Well, that's great. I guess all we need is time. And if I'm trying to be with someone for the rest of my life, we got a lot of time. We got plenty of time. I'm not saying use that excuse to not take action, but you know what I mean. We don't need results tomorrow. All right. Let's tackle a couple other topics before we wrap up here, which is one, technology makes secrets easier and temptation closer. Avoid those that are driven by temptation. Avoid and what I want to say is like, let's take this one step further. Don't just avoid people that are driven by temptation. Actively seek people that are driven by moral values. Like I always tell people, if you can find someone whose actions please God, I promise you their actions will please you. Again, like if you can find someone whose actions please God, I can promise you they will please you if you are in the right headspace. I don't know, if you're not Christian and you're doing some crazy shit that God will not approve of, then yeah, you're probably not going to like your partner because they're going to be on your ass. They're going to be like, hey, that's not cool. You shouldn't do that. Yeah. And then the last piece I want to wrap up with here, because I don't want to keep you forever. I'm trying to keep these episodes like under 30 minutes. If you've been burned before, or you've ever been hurt before, I want you to realize that that's not everybody. In fact, you have so much in common with a lot of people that I can promise you this wouldn't be such a big topic if there weren't hundreds of thousands, if not millions of people that feel the exact same way, have been burned, cheated on, hurt in the past, and they're looking for someone who understands the pain just as much as you do. And for the life of them, just want to find someone they can love with all their heart and not feel scared. So how do we provide safety, right? We think, how do we give safety? How do we provide safety? And then find someone worth providing and giving to. Again, get out of the consumer mentality. What do I have to give? And then who should I give to? Who deserves the gift I can give? And this isn't an ego-driven thing. This isn't I'm hot shit, look at me, haha. No, this is grace. I've put in a lot of work, and I want to make sure this work goes to something special, goes to someone special. And if you are driven by materialistic bullshit, if you are looking for a lot of materialistic values in somebody, you need them to be this tall, their ass to be this fat, I could tell you right now that person is driven by temptation. You are making a mistake. You are making a mistake. And not everything's going to repeat, all right? Just because somebody doesn't respond to your texts within the next fucking 5 minutes does not mean they are trying to burn you. Maybe the last person was, but this person might be busy. He might just be taking a piss and he left his phone on the table. Like, chill. All right. Well, how do we know? We learn. We get to learn the core critical values in somebody. We learn about them. That's why it's so important for you to date for a while before you just send it with somebody. Like, you got to get to know someone. And then measure the consistency. Oh, well, for the first month, these are all the things we were talking about. But by month 3, they were none of those things anymore. Cool. So they're not consistent. They were pulling your leg. Move on. Whew. Trust is hard, but fuck, it's worth it, guys. Yes, trust is harder in 2025, but here's the thing. The couples who win aren't the ones with zero problems. They're the ones who talk through them, set healthy boundaries, and create safety despite the noise. If you can do that, trust doesn't just survive, it thrives. So let's summarize. What do we take away from this? Well, let's become a giver. Let's ask ourselves, what do I have to give to somebody? 2, get rid of the temptation. Advocate transparency and morality from day one. 3, be patient. Not everybody's perfect. And number 4, be authentic and be willing to go through shit with somebody. Be transparent. Be gross. Be you. Be you. And remember, love requires 2 things: the willingness to learn and the willingness to take action. Okay? I hope this helped. I hope this helped somebody. So I love you all. God bless. Read up on your Bible. If you haven't already, I have a new book. I have a book I just released called To Anyone Who Thought It Was Love, The Modern Atlas of human connection. We'll try to show you guys that there. And it actually tackles the 50 most common problems in dating and relationships. Resentment, codependency, control issues, fear of vulnerability, emotional unavailability, intimacy issues, clinginess, overanalyzing text, settling, love bombing, friend zone confusion, money disputes, family approval, rushing into relationships, overthinking, unrealistic expectations, poor communication, fear of rejection, lack of confidence, infidelity, unclear intentions. This book is like your love Bible. All right, keep it close by. It'll keep you in line. It'll keep you in direction. It'll keep you going in the right way. All right, I love y'all. God bless. I'll see you on the next episode.